Today, I'd like to talk about brands. I think that brands are useful. I think they're helpful, and I think they're necessary in today's society. Because of the internet and because of social media, it's impossible to avoid brands. They're everywhere now. They bombard us with constant messages that are asking for our time and attention, for our money, and all the other resources that we're able to give them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not bad because we're gaining something from it. We're gaining entertainment, or a product, or a service. Whatever it is, we're gaining something for that brand, and that's why we're choosing to give them our resources. And it's easy to understand that as the consumer. But today I don't want to talk about the consumer side. I want to talk about the creator side. And I know you might be sitting there thinking, well, this doesn't apply to me. I'm not a marketer. I don't have a brand that I'm trying to work on. And to that I'd say you're probably wrong. You are a creator of a brand. You're associated with them. Just as much as you are a consumer, you are a creator of a brand. Because you probably work for someone. And if you don't, you're associated with some type of organization, or community, or group. And if that all fails, you're a person with an identity. You have a personal brand. You represent yourself everywhere you go. So whatever the case is, there is some type of brand that you're associated with. And today I want to talk about how we can grow that brand and develop it. Because I think it adds value, not only in a personal brand, but also in an organization and even in a job. Whether you're the CEO or whether you're the new intern. Whatever it is, if you understand how a brand works and how to grow it and develop it, you add your capacity as an employee or a person of an organization or just as yourself. And I think that's super vital to be able to know and understand. And so today I want to talk about it. I have a 3-step process through experience and through research that I feel will help us all understand and become better at brand development. The first step is an innovation stage. In the innovation stage, you find the purpose. What is it that you are trying to do? Think about a car. If a car drives and there's no one behind it, it may go straight for a while on the road, but eventually it'll need to turn or stop. Whatever the case might be, it will eventually crash and it will fail. Similar is the brand. You need to have some kind of identity. You need to have some type of purpose. That purpose is vital to everything that you do, and it's a source that you can return to time and time again for course correction and to realize what it is that you're truly trying to accomplish with your brand. And once you know that, you can start to research the market. Find your audience. What is their age? What is their gender? Where do they live? What's their family status, marital status? What's their job status? Find out who it is that you're trying to reach. And once you find out who it is that you're trying to reach, you'll be able to find this target consumer. And this is the person you're trying to reach with your brand. And you know what they want. And from there, you're able to create a stance, a set of morals and values that your company is able to turn to and live by and work with. And that's the innovation stage, is knowing who it is you're trying to reach, what it is you're trying to do, and how you're going to do it. Once you know that, you're able to move on to the growth stage. I love the growth stage. It's probably my favorite one to be a part of because you're just creating at that point. You're creating an identity, a logo, a color scheme that people will recognize. When they see that, they'll know it's your brand. You'll start producing content or a product or a service. Whatever it is that your brand is going to provide for the consumer, you start to do that. And there's content for them to see and use and be a part of. And once you've done that, you can start marketing. And I love marketing because you're able to use word of mouth and money and resources to say, hey, we're here. We're a brand that has a great logo, a great identity. We're trying to give this product to the consumer, and we know who we're trying to give it to, and we're just trying to reach that person. And you'll start to see your company grow, and you'll start to see people asking and learning about you. And once you've done that, you analyze. And that's the third step, is the analyze phase. You look back and you evaluate what you've done. What's worked well, what hasn't? Maybe something you've worked really hard on flopped. Maybe an idea you thought was silly ended up working really well. You don't know that until you've put it out there, but once you have, it's time to analyze and say, what do we do now? because you've seen what's worked well and you adapt to those needs. And as you adapt to those needs, you'll go back to the first phase. You'll go back and innovate and say, maybe we need to review who our target consumer is and adapt. Maybe their age or gender or demographic has changed. Maybe we need to review our stance, change our values a little bit. But you'll reevaluate the innovation stage and move back again into the growth stage and say, let's create content catered to what's worked well and how we can reach them. And then you'll analyze that and you'll say, okay, round 2, what worked well? And once you've done that, you'll say, okay, let's go back to the innovation stage and growth and analyze. And it's a constant process. And I want to stress that you know the phases and you know that they go in a cycle and you keep doing them. And you can't have one without the other. Now, a great example of that, I think, is the company Walmart. Every successful brand does this, but I want to talk about Walmart. They've innovated. They know who it is they're trying to reach. Families, everybody, anyone that needs groceries or supplies or clothes. They want to be the store that you turn to. They've created identity, a color scheme, a logo. When you see Walmart's logo, you know who it is. You know the colors that they're associated with. They've marketed and they've researched. Then they've analyzed and said, what more can we do for our consumer? They've innovated again. They've said, okay, how much better can we be at reaching those families? And then they've done growth and content to reach you better. They've said, let's have a pickup station so they don't even need to get out of their car. Let's match the price of any other store so they'll keep coming here instead of going other places. And they've innovated and grown and they've analyzed and say, what more can we do? And it's a constant cycle and they're always coming up with new things to better reach you. And I know that this process works. It works for successful companies and it'll work for your brand. As long as you incorporate these 3 steps, you will be successful with your brand creation.